I don't have the fan up here. I really don't. So I apologize. This is awesome to see this many people. We can't say how much we appreciate everybody taking time out of their day coming down here. I see a number of other agencies. I see a number of retired people. This is our 29th Annual Law Enforcement Recognition Awards. We have 23 outstanding individuals today, and we're going to recognize them, and there's a number of dignitaries here that I would like to go very quickly, and a number of retirees. So I saw Mayor Doug Keene. I'll be very quick on this since we do have quite an agenda. I saw the city manager, Steve Schwabauer, come in. I saw him out there fighting fires with fires, so he is ready to go. I saw the Deputy City Attorney, John Fukasawa. John, you are. A number of retirees that I saw in here. We got to go first with Julie Wall, that always kept everything in check for us. Always kept us online, so we appreciate it. I saw Mike Oden, Mike Oden, that just retired. I saw my best FTO, Captain Larry Minetti, is back in there. Probably makes you feel old, Larry, seeing this, right? Okay, all right. One of my other bosses, Gerald Murray, we appreciate you coming back, Gerald. And the guy we can't get rid of, Chet Samara, we appreciate Chet coming back. A couple other officers, I would like to say thanks to Nick Sararam. Nick gave us a number of years before he moved on. We appreciate that. Thanks for coming down. And also Jimmy Pittergas. I would like to say today we are looking at Woody Williams being honored, and honestly, a big part of the relationship that we have now with mental health is because of you. And I want to say thank you for that. So thank you, everybody. So please give them a hand. If I forgot somebody or I missed, I apologize. We'll start off with the Citizens Award. This award is given to citizens who perform an exceptional service to the department, its employees, or the community. Mr. O'Reilly, Mike, you would step up, please. On the evening of December 4th, 2016, one of our officers was on patrol when he saw a subject on the porch of a home in the 300 block of Chestnut Street. The officer recognized the subject from previous contacts in which the subject had fought during arrests. He knew the subject had multiple warrants for his arrest. As the officer confirmed the warrants, the subject fled to the backyard of the residence. The officer chased him, and the subject subsequently armed himself with a chain, which he used to attack the officer. The officer deployed his taser, which was ineffective, and the subject tried to flee by jumping a fence. The officer was able to catch him and pull him down from the fence, and a struggle ensued with the officer attempting to gain control. Mr. O'Reilly was sitting on the porch next door when he witnessed this incident. He saw the two run into the backyard and heard yelling. Mr. O'Reilly ran into the backyard, saw the struggle, and took it upon himself to assist the officer. Mr. O'Reilly told the subject several times to stand down and stop fighting with the officer. He then went hands-on with the subject and assisted the officer by holding the subject by the left shoulder and wrist until other officers arrived. The officer had called for backup, and the other units arrived within 2 minutes. It's obviously very clear that Mr. O'Reilly's actions during this incident were of great assistance to the officer in controlling the subjects until other officers arrived. You know, in today's climate, this is just something that is very unique. Generally now everybody's looking for their phone to video it, but Mr. O'Reilly took the actions and went a step further. It's just rare that a citizen comes to the aid of an officer, especially when he's struggling with an assaultive subject. Not only did Mr. O'Reilly come to help, but he did so late at night in a dark backyard, putting his life in danger. For this, Mr. O'Reilly, you should be commended, and we greatly appreciate it. It's my pleasure to present you with the Citizens Award, and thank you very much. On the afternoon of January 4th of 2016, the Lodi Police Department personnel responded to Beckman Park for a report of an assault with a baseball bat. Upon arrival, Mr. Leach was contacted and pointed out the suspect of the assault, a 17-year-old female. The investigation revealed that the suspect suffered from mental health issues. She had walked to the park with a bat and watched a victim who was sitting on a stump facing away from her. The suspect approached the victim from behind and struck her across the head with the bat, knocking her to the ground. She then struck the victim several more times in the head with the bat while she lay on the ground. Mr. Leach told officers that he recalled seeing the suspect walking down Century with a bat as he was driving to the store. He thought this was odd because it was now baseball season. Approximately 30 minutes later, Mr. Leach was driving back past Beckman Park when he saw the suspect swinging the bat in a downward position. He could not see what he was striking, so he stopped his car to investigate and found that she was assaulting a female that was laying on the ground. Mr. Leach kept the suspect, who was still armed with the bat, on scene until officers arrived. The suspect was arrested and the victim was quickly transported to an area hospital with severe head trauma. Not many people would have taken the time to stop and investigate. But because of Mr. Leach's action that day, a woman's life was saved and the suspect was arrested. Again, for that, Mr. Leach, I can't thank you enough.
I would just like to extend on that note, thank you. I would not be here if it were not for you. You were in the right place at the right time, and you did the right thing, and you are an absolute hero and an inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much, Jen.
You know, I thank the good Lord that He had me in that spot at that time. But I have to be honest, this is a true honor, and I thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
But in my opinion, the real hero is Jackie and her family, and all that they've been through and the therapy she continues. The police department, the fire department, the doctors, they're leaders. So I was just fortunate that I was there to try to help her do the best I can. I'm so thankful that you're standing here.
Thank you. Again, those are two outstanding citizens of this community, and I think that's why we have one of the best communities around and the best city. So again, thank you very much, and we appreciate all of your efforts. Jan? One of our longtime partners, Jan Talkin. Jan will be receiving the Meritorious Service Award. Over the years, Jan has displayed a strong work ethic and has made many important contributions to the police department and the city of Lodi. In Jan's 14 years of service, she has volunteered over 8,700 hours. 850 of those were in 2016 alone. Jan has acted as the Lodi Police Department's alarm administrator, which reduced false alarms and provided revenue recovery of over $400,000 during the 12-year operation. When the department no longer had funding for a crime prevention unit, she volunteered and formed a unit of volunteers to ensure the citizens of Lodi still had access to crime prevention. This group was instrumental in continuing the Neighborhood Watch program and coordinating the very successful National Night Out. The words dedicated and hardworking are often followed by Jan's name. She's tireless in everything that she does for us. She's dependable, and her decision-making makes her stand out within the partners' ranks. Because of this, she has reached the rank of Partners Lieutenant. Jan, it's my honor to present you with the Meritorious Service Award.
I usually am not lost for words, and I want to really thank the police department for this award. The support that the chief and the 2 lieutenants and my boss, Chet, have given me over the years is outstanding. And I really appreciate it, and I was definitely right here. Thank you.
Brandon? Or out there. Brandon, Park? Officer Brandon Harrow is receiving a Meritorious Service Award. This award is for an employee or volunteer's contribution to the department or the community for a period of months or years by exemplary work, conduct, or involvement in a specific assignment or extraordinary benefit to the department and or community. Over the years, Brandon has displayed a strong work ethic, has made many important contributions to the police department and the city of Lodi. He has a very positive attitude and continues to work proactively within his beat. He's someone that his fellow officers can count on to be there and to give guidance and suggestions about how to handle a call. Brandon thinks outside the box many times. There's one example. Last year, he went on a welfare check where he found a father with 3 children at a bus stop. Brandon was able to reach out to the father's mother in New Mexico and work with her to reunite the family. Over the next week, he spearheaded a fundraising campaign to raise the funds required to reunite them. Brandon even donated between $450 and $600 of his own money. He followed through and made that happen. You know, when we talk about things about compassion, kindness, and being a team player, which we all strive to be here at the Lodi Police Department, I think Brandon exemplifies that. Brandon is also described as easy to work with, takes care of business, and always willing to help. He always finds times to assist our negotiating team, learning everything needed and acting as a role player. Time and time again, he's proven for us to be a pleasure to work with. Brandon, it's my honor to present you with the Meritorious Service Award, and thank you very much. Brandon, he's going to be up here twice, so you want to talk now or you want to talk at the end?
I'll just say a few things right now. I knew when this family came across my path, I had to do something. I couldn't sweep under the rug and get too busy, like, easy to do and just go about my business. I knew that this was a family that was in need and that, they needed help. So I also want to thank some of the other officers. I'm not the only one who helped. I kind of spearheaded it, but there was a lot of other officers in the department that gave their money as well. Richard Dunphy, Jimmy Pendergast, girls from Dispatch, Mona, Maria, and Jama also gave money to help this family. Also is Darlene from Partners here. Darlene helped in a big way with food, money for food, hotel stays, and stuff like that for this family. So I wanted to recognize them with credit where credit is due. So anyway, thank you for my peers who nominated me for this award, and thank you to the awards committee for selecting me.
Brandon, you were able to get some money out of Pendergast. I better put you on the foundation committee. This is Unit Citation Award. This is for our Police Honor Guard unit. If you've ever had the opportunity to see an honor guard, I can't tell you the number of people within our community, within our ranks, that talks about how sharp and professional our honor guard always is. I've gotten several emails about their conduct, and I can't say enough about them. I will, as far as our honor guard unit, in charge Lieutenant Fernando Martinez, Sergeant Kevin Kent, Corporal Carlos Fuentes, School Resource Officer Jim Landis, Canine Officer Robert Wrench, Delta Rat Officer Detective Andre Belaski, Officer Mitch Lestrange, who's in our Special Investigations Unit, and Officer Daniel Bristow. The unit citation is awarded to any group of 2 or more employees who collectively engage in a specific articulable program, event, or operation that exemplifies an extraordinary quality of service. The Honor Guard is responsible for attending funerals of our fallen brethren and does so with the utmost professionalism. This unit attends these funerals, which it oftentimes means traveling long hours and attending after their shift and aside from their regular duties. The purpose of this unit is to honor fallen officers and their families. They aim to demonstrate the unity of the law enforcement profession while serving as a symbol of strength and to support families going through the most difficult of times. The Honor Guard unit was created in 1986. Since then, they've attended hundreds of funerals, 7 in 2016. Every year, the Honor Guard attends our state and county memorials and has traveled to places including Washington, New York, Texas, and San Diego. You know, we look at the past few years, and they and along with a number of us have attended several funerals. We wish that this would stop, but the professionalism and the time that these gentlemen put in, I can't speak of. It's very honorable, and we appreciate it to the high heavens. So thank you very much. I am honored to present the Unit Citation Award to the Honor Guard.
On behalf of the Honor Guard, I want to say thank you. It's a good group of guys. I mean, we go to a lot of funerals all over the state. As a matter of fact, this last week we went to 3. They broke us up. We went to the one in Whittier, one for Alameda, and one for the CHP officer. A few of us have went to Dallas for the funerals there for those officers. I want to acknowledge some of our past Honor Guard members. I see Officer Nino back there at the back. Retired Sergeant Mike Oden. Look at that. I saw you. There you are. Oh, and Kaufman, yeah, Officer Kaufman back there. All our motors, they've all been a big part of our Honor Guard. They've gone to funerals with us as well. On behalf of the Honor Guard, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We have our Volunteer of the Year, Partner Carol Rowe. This award is presented for significant achievement during the past year for career-long dedication and service to the department or the community. Carol has been a partner for more than 14 years. In 2016, she volunteered more than 700 hours. She's responsible for emergency call-outs for partners when needed by our department, the desk supervisor in the partner's office, and she teaches at the Partners Academy. She assists code enforcement, assists with special events, as well as responsible for the volunteer timesheets. She also finds time to work patrol and serve on the Honor Guard board. She has a history of making good decisions, and she was promoted to the rank of Partners Lieutenant. Carol's fellow partners have described her as a dedicated, organized, and wonderful person to be around. It is volunteers like Carol that make our partners really successful. I see Carol and Dawn at our department more than a lot of us, it seems like. So from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank the both of you. As many hours as you give us, we couldn't do it without you. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for both of you. You both are so pleasant, and I just appreciate everything that you do for us. So Carol, for your commitment and dedication to the community, your work to fulfill the mission of this department, and your selfless effort to ensure that Lodi is a community of choice for residents and visitors alike, it is my pleasure to present you with the Volunteer of the Year Award. Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you very much to all my fellow partners who work with me every day and help me receive this. I'm totally humbled. Thank you very much.
Next award is very prestigious in our department. It is the Rick Cromwell Award. Rick obviously passed in a motor accident in 1998 while he was chasing a speeder, and something that we hold very dear to our hearts. Corporal Chris Kaufman. This prestigious award is an opportunity for the Traffic Division to recognize employees and volunteers for an articulable contribution to the department and the community in the area of traffic enforcement. This award is issued solely at the discretion of the traffic unit. It's easy to see why Chris was granted this recognition. During his tenure with the Lodi Police Department, he spent 8 years in the traffic unit and has been a dedicated member of the main team for over a decade. He's a valuable resource for collision investigation and traffic stop training. Chris has worked countless DUI checkpoints, along with numerous seatbelt inspections, every 15 minutes presentations and road closures. He's an in-house motor trainer. He helps to certify new motor officers prior to working the streets. As a corporal, he continues to mentor our trainees in traffic safety. He has a no-nonsense attitude about traffic safety and enforcement that sets a good example for our younger officers. The attitude reinforces just how important traffic safety is. And there's a number of people that were involved in the motor, that were motor officers in here. And Chris has been still chomping at the bit as soon as we can get enough officers to get our motor unit back. So every time he walks by me, he gives me a little rum rum, and that's all I hear from him. So I know, Chris, I know. I see him out there on a unicycle, just begging to do something. I just can't thank you enough, Chris, for that. Your dedication to this area of law enforcement is what you earn as the Cromwell Award. Your tireless efforts have proven to make the streets a safer place for us to drive. It's my pleasure to present you the Rick Cromwell Award.
Well, yeah, I found my niche in motor traffic. Still enjoy doing it. I enjoy training the new guys. Like to do maybe a motor national instructor course. Stay on after I retire. I need to do that. I still have to beat Captain Jacobson on our film course out there. We have done it. So,
We'll make him do it on the
electric bike.
electric bike. That'll make him happy. Again, thank you very much. Life-saving award. We have 4 that are up for the life-saving award. Corporal Eric Bradley, Officer William Hinton, Officer Brandon Harrow, and Dispatcher James Serrano. Officer Bradley is off and was unable to make it today, so we will make sure that we get his award. So, with that, this award is presented to an employee who saves or attempts to save a life by direct action or by performing emergency medical aid. It's not necessarily requiring bravery or extraordinary effort, which results in the saving of a human life. On June 12, 2016, a male was arrested for domestic violence, among other charges. Male is well known to the employees of the Lodi Police Department as he's had numerous previous arrests. While in the booking cell, he attempted to hang himself with the phone cord. JAMA found the subject and quickly called for help. Corporal Bradley and Officers Harrow and Hinton responded to render aid until AMR arrived. It is because of everyone's quick actions that the male was able to be taken to Lodi Memorial. In measure, the inmate would have died. After the incident, the inmate posted a thank you on social media, thanking these individuals for saving his life. It's my pleasure to present you with the Life-Saving Award. Jamie said she wanted to speak the most, so she'll go last. She almost passed out just now, so I think what I say, Brand, I think you're voted if you would say.
All right. Like the chief said, that this individual is very well known to the police department, and we deal with them a lot of times on a negative basis. But the bottom line is his life matters too. He has people that love him. So I'm thankful that, number one, that Jama was put in a position to where she saw him. And then Corporal Bradley and Officer Hinton pulled him off of the phone cord. And then, like I said, I checked for pulses and stuff, and we were ready to do CPR if needed. I thought this individual was going to die in our jail. It was that grim. And I'm surprised that he doesn't have any sort of, brain injury or anything like that because of it. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much. You sure, Jake?
I just want to thank everybody for coming today, and I want to thank the officers that assisted that day, because without them, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you.
She said she may faint. I may get a life-saving next year. So hurry, James, run. Thank you very much again. A number of these things that we've talked about is, we deal with mental illness. And I can't tell you again, that's why I wanted to, recognize Officer Pendergast for what he's done for us with that. At the same time, this young lady has helped us immensely in many calls, issues that we have with specific people. There's a couple of people that are in my mind that she was able to finally get them the help that they needed. So with that, it's the Chief of Police, the Service Award, and this is Wendy Williams. This award is for an opportunity for the Chief to recognize employees or volunteers for significant contributions to the department or the community. Ms. Williams is a licensed clinical social worker and employed by San Joaquin County Mental Health. Aside from her duties as a crisis worker, she has been the Lodi Police Department's mental health liaison over the last 9 years. Ms. Williams has helped strengthen the relationship between the police department's officers and employees at mental health. This has been achieved all by her countless hours where she has facilitated crisis intervention trainings for officers. She assisted in developing the liaison program at the police department. She's provided crisis intervention training for the department and critical incident negotiation team, and assisted the department on several recent major incidents where CINT responded to crisis calls. Ms. Williams always makes herself available to the police department and the officers, whether they are working with a person in crisis or for general mental health questions. She's dependable, and her compassionate willingness to help officers speaks of her character. She has proven to be a huge asset, not only to the police department, but to the Lodi community. She's passionate about her job and takes pride in maintaining a strong relationship between the Lodi Police Department and San Joaquin County Mental Health. As a watch commander, there were several times that Wendy and I were able to collaborate on a number of issues that we had, and I can't thank you enough for the time and the questions. She made a lot of sense as to what some of the things that we dealt with. So, again, thank you, Wendy, for all of that. Because of these attributes that are awarded the Chief of Police Service Award, I can't thank you enough for your dedication to the police department and those in crisis. I'm honored to present you the Chief of Police Service Award. Thank you very much.
I'm going to try not to cry. Social workers are emotional. I, 9 years ago, was appointed by Kathy Hanna, who's standing in the back right now. She was one of our supervisors, and our endeavor was to engage law enforcement and to give them tools to work with the mentally ill, and so that officers could be safe, and so could the clients in the community. And I couldn't have received these awards without acknowledging Jim Pendergast, who is my counterpart and my partner in all that we've done together. Jim has countless calls in the middle of the night from officers and has assisted me by calling me and us collaborating to come up with a great solution to work for the community of Lodi. I am very honored to receive this, and without my my family support and my son having to take many, many hours away from his mother while I was in school, I would not be here today. And my husband, who supports me through thick and thin, I go home, he doesn't ask questions when I can't talk about the cases, but he knows I've been out with officers all night long. So if I've missed anybody other than Giselle, Dr. Graff is a psychiatrist that I consult with, he's sitting in the back, and he is my go-to doctor that helps me decide sometimes in the middle of the night when the calls come in, what to do to help the doctor, to help the officers out in the field. So it's very much of an honor for me to receive this on behalf of County Mental Health and on behalf of law enforcement in Lodi. You guys are very special and you're dear in my heart.
You've done a great service for us, and we hope it continues for a long time. Thank you very much. Mike, take a lot of pictures of her. Did you give him the Polaroid? Employee of the Year. She likes us to talk about her very loud. Jennifer Howe. The award is presented for significant achievement during the past year for a long dedication and service to the department of the community. Jennifer has worked upstairs with us for the last year and a half, and it's very easy to understand why the awards committee has granted her this recognition. She was hired by the police department as a part-time records clerk in 2014. She transferred to administration in 2015, where she continued to show her dedication and positive attitude, even in tough times. Are you breathing? Okay. Jamin, hurry. In 2016, when the administrative team was decimated, Jennifer stepped up to the plate and took on additional duties, more than additional duties. She did the job of 3 without hesitation. She effectively handled those 3 duties, and also with the purchasing duties, processing invoices, coordinating training, managing Crime Stopper tips, completing the annual report. She also attended numerous special events, including Coffee with a Cop, Baker to Vegas, and our open house, which she said this year she will get in the dunk booth. So get ready for it. In addition, she contributed photography for the Arbor Convalescent fundraising calendar. If you haven't had a chance to buy that, please get there. She managed to complete all of this while still meeting her obligations as a member of the Chaplain Board, the Public Information Officers team, and the acting Lodi Police Department photographer. There's many times that I walk by her and we both just kind of look at each other and I keep walking. I don't even think we really talk. We're like, yeah, okay. You can tell she's overwhelmed. There are many times that I'm walking out the door and I tell her, it will be here tomorrow, get out of here. She's always there to help her coworkers get the job done. She's changed her schedule to accommodate officers, coworkers, and citizens alike. She has more than shown her willingness to be a team player within our police department. But she always works well with everybody from City Hall, and everybody in Parks and Recs and every other place in the department. It's Jennifer's commendable work ethic and cooperative spirit that has earned her Employee of the Year. I can't think of anybody else that is more deserving. So thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate it.
I just want to say thank you, Chief, staff. Without everybody in that building, I couldn't do it. Thank you to my family for the long hours and letting me get away with it. This is a family. You've got your big brothers who look out for you. You got your little brothers that pick on you. You got your sisters to share secrets and run to when you need help. So thank you all. This is for you, so thank you.
Munoz. Butterfield calls you. Officer of the Year, Jose Nuno. This award is presented to someone for a significant work-related achievement during the past year or career-long dedication. Officer Nuno was nominated and granted this award by his peers for his selfless dedication and commitment to his fellow employees, the police department, and the community. Jose joined the Lodi Police Department in 1996. During his career, he has been a field training officer, as well as a member of the Honor Guard, SWAT team, our Regional Auto Theft Task Force, and most recently, the AB 109 Task Force. Statistics alone do not make the officer, but in his case, they speak volumes of his work ethic. In 2016, he helped reduce crime and promote traffic safety by making 140 arrests and issuing 311 citations. Along with a steadfast commitment to his profession, he recently joined the Lodi Police Department SET team and worked various forms of enforcement with that. One thing we talked about last year, our gang incidents decreased to 49 for the year. A large part of that was because of the SET team, along with the rest of the officers and our outreach workers and everything else. So I can't thank you enough for that. That's the lowest numbers that we've had in the last 20 years. So thank you very much for that. Jose's coworkers have described him as an exemplary employee, an example to younger officers, and more importantly, a great team member. He's the first to be called when there's a shortage. Well, he actually just stands there waiting, especially when he knows it needs to be filled. I think that he starts getting people off the schedule somehow by himself. He's the first to be called because he's going to respond. He'll be there before you get off the phone. He adjusts personal events, probably not to everybody's liking, and priorities to make himself available to the department and the community. He's described as someone that can always be counted on. His performance and productivity validate the sentiments of his coworkers and supervisors who have conferred this award upon him. And he most certainly represents what the Lodi community expects of law enforcement professionals. I want to thank you for the many times that you've bailed me out. There's a number of times that we have conversations, and he gives me his point of view, and I thoroughly enjoy our conversations today. Thank you for your tireless efforts to fulfill the mission of the police department, and your work ensures Lodi is a community of choice for its residents and make it a safer community. Thank you very much.
Wow. 29 years. My heart says I can still do it. I'm really broken. I love what I do. The command staff is amazing. The officers here, all these people that got awards, the gentlemen and the women, they're amazing. We do it for the community. It's a good team department. And like I said, I love what I do. My wife, not so much, because I'm always away from, it seems like I'm always away from home. But I love what I do. I'm passionate about it, and I don't know what else to say. So just thank you to everybody in the community. It's an awesome community, and the department is amazing. So thank you for all your support. Thank you.
A wrench. This is the first one, right? This is the first time in our 29-year history that we've given out a Purple Heart. This prestigious award is given to employees who are seriously injured or killed while engaged in law enforcement service. Their injury must be the result of a criminal attack or hostile act, or in the course of a rescue or life-saving effort. On September 6, 2016, at 7:59, dispatch received a report of a theft in progress at Rayleigh's. Officers were dispatched to the call. After making contact, they identified the suspect and responded to his residence. The purpose of the visit was to return the suspect's cell phone and give him a trespass warning not to return to Rayleigh's. Contact was made with the suspect, and as officers turned to leave, the suspect made a comment about getting a gun. The suspect went inside their home, returned with a bat, and threatened the officers. Robert was on a call a few blocks away and immediately responded to the call for help from his fellow officers. Robert and his canine partner Gus took a position near the other officers. Suspect once again came out and threatened the officers and his partners, at which time he deployed his partner. The suspect retreated into the house and Gus followed. Robert and his fellow officers pursued the dog and the suspect into the residence, at which point he was attacked by the suspect with the baseball bat. Robert raised his left arm to block the blow from the bat, and he was also struck in the left wrist. The suspect swung 2 more times, and he was struck in the right elbow and right hand additionally. A fellow officer deployed the taser, which caused the suspect attention to turn to him. As the suspect started towards the other officer, Robert saw that his partner was being attacked, drew his weapon, and shot the suspect, effectively ending the assault. Robert was injured and is currently on light duty. It takes great courage to put yourself in harm's way to help your fellow officers, Robert. I want to thank you for your hard work and dedication and your positive attitude. He's always got a smile on his face and keeping your fellow partners in the community of Lodi safe. It's my pleasure to present you with the Purple Heart. Thank you.
Am I the last one? I'll make it short, Jimmy. I know there's cake out there for you, but. First of all, no longer on light duty as of Wednesday, thankfully. I just want to thank everybody in the department. There's a lot of support. I had to turn my phone off for a few days after this. I just kept getting calls and texts, and trying to sleep. And I just want to thank my wife for putting up with me. So, thank you.
I'd like to ask the city manager if he'd like to step forward. Is he still there? Steve back there?
Really had to call me today? I'm a bit of a wreck. I was out doing a little training with the fire department, and I just came out of a bunch of turnouts, and I'm a sweaty mess in the cold, so.
We appreciate it.
You know, we have a bunch of phenomenal officers at Lodi PD, and I'm so proud of the work that they do, and really proud of our citizens too, because we've got some really great people in this community who come forward and done some phenomenal stuff to take care of one another. So many thanks to Lodi PD, and thank you to all of you for coming out and recognizing me.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Hidden gem. Well, this concludes our presentation today. We appreciate you taking time out of your day on Friday to come out. I hope that you thoroughly enjoy and understand what the men and women of our department go through, and I can't thank them enough for what they do. It's an honor to be a part of this department, and it's an honor to be representing the city of Lodi and the community. So I can't thank you enough for being here. A few people I would like to recognize. The awards committee. That's Captain Chris Jacobson, Lieutenant Fernando Martinez, Sergeant Michael Minetti, Corporal Misty Springmeyer, Officer Erica Urea, Officer Pendergast, Dispatcher Andrea Patterson, Administrative Secretary Heather Kirschenman, Administrative Clerk Jennifer Howell, Partner Stan Sogsty. I'd like to thank our Senate committee today, Heather Kirschenman, Jennifer Howell, and our partners, because they always have the good eats afterwards, Pat Freeman, Lenore Utzler, and Lynn Hargis. Again, thank you very much. I can't be more proud of our department, and this has been a great day. Hope to see you all stay around. There's plenty of punch and some cake. So again, thank you very much. So have a great day. Thank you again.